be standing, you know, reading through the script or playing with a toy or something.
Well, we'll talk about that.
It's cool.
You're not getting any glare off this classes here?
I'm not. Tough titty, as they say.
Awesome. So, you ready to start the second?
Yeah, let's go.
Awesome. Alrighty. First, you're very busy at the moment. I'm guessing it's pre-strike madness, possibly?
Yeah, this whole strike thing has gotten everyone freaking out. They're making everything they possibly can in about 3 months. So even if there is no strike, there's going to be no work anywhere because they've already spent their little budgets. So I don't know what's going on. And it's been crazy for me. I think I'm sort of doing 4 films back to back. I don't know if that's because of the strike or whatever. I have no idea.
That's cool. You in Dallas shooting Serving Sara. You finished that up yesterday, right?
I thought I finished it yesterday. Apparently Mr. Perry needs a little extra time. And so we're just going to wait and see.
Cool.
That's the official line.
Yeah, that's fine.
And let's see, what am I supposed to not say? I'm supposed to say that I don't know anything.
Okay. We'll
How's
duly
that?
note that.
Yes.
Definitely.
I don't know anything about the Matthew Perry situation.
That's fine. Well, what's the movie about?
I play this guy named Gordon Moore. I'm married to Elizabeth Hurley, briefly. For some reason I exchanged her for a new cute model. The divorce proceedings start, and the trick is I want to serve her for divorce in Texas because I own all the judges. You know, he's a good old boy.
Yeah.
And she wants to serve me in New York City where she'll have a fighting chance. So Matthew Perry is her process server. So they're trying to serve me before I serve her. So it's a wacky mayhem ensues.
Awesome. Let's see, you're going on to Bubba Hotep next, right?
Yes, next would be Bubba Hotep,
So,
which I don't know how to even describe that movie.
well, you're playing a 70-year-old Elvis or something along those lines. So, or
Yeah.
who thinks he's Elvis?
Yeah, no, it's a real Elvis. It's real Elvis. That he swapped, so you don't have your facts right. See, years ago he swapped with an Elvis impersonator because Elvis was tired of the fast life. So what he wanted to do was just sort of play those little gigs again like he used to. So he made a deal, signed a contract with an Elvis impersonator. A really good one.
Yeah.
Not the crappy Elvis impersonators. And then that's the guy who died. So Elvis is now living in a rest home. He's old. He's sort of semi-cancerous. All his good days are before him. And he meets a guy who thinks he's JFK, played by Ossie Davis. And the guy who thinks he's JFK is convinced that the mummy Bubba Hotep is sneaking into the rest home at night and sucking the souls out of the old people because they're easy
Yeah.
prey. And so Elvis and Jack Kennedy team up and defeat, but it turns out it's real, it's true.
Yeah.
So they team up to defeat Bubba Hotep.
It's awesome.
It's a very strange script.
Sounds really cool. I'm actually...
The K&B effects guys are doing the Elvis. We're doing prosthetics for everything.
Yeah.
It's not going to be me playing Elvis. It's just hopefully will just be Elvis.
That's cool.
You know, you'll never see me without makeup on, without some form of prosthetic.
Of course. Yeah, that's the way the movie will work best.
Oh, I think so.
It's cool. Yeah, I know Don, so he actually invited me out to set, so I'll get to stalk you for another week now. So.
Good. Love it.
Yeah, something to look forward to anyway. Let's see. Has Don had any luck raising any money for Phantasm 5?
Not that I'm aware of.
If he does, are you still going to be involved?
Yeah, if he does, if he gets his act together and, you know, it's a fun script and it seems like it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
But that whole rumor stuff, I mean, unless something is real, it's just hard to talk about it. It's hard to talk about all the what ifs, you know, Evil Dead 4, Phantasm 58. When it happens, it happens.
Exactly. Well, something that you are doing and is big and official and all that we don't have to speculate about is your book.
That's right, the book. The
Get
book.
to it.
Although this isn't the book. This
No.
is the cheesy script from Evil Dead 2. Ah, no! Work shit. Yeah. Okay. A lot of omitted scenes there for budget purposes. Yeah, I have a book coming out in June, and I think it's LA Weekly Books. It's a division of St. Martin's Press.
Cool.
So, I can't say enough about that. I'm doing a book tour, June, July, August. Will be the tour, and I'm hoping that on my website we'll set up some sort of schedule so people will know when I'm going to be where. Because we're making all the convention rounds. What I'm going to do is actually increase the convention appearances and sort of connect those up with a book tour, like a book signing.
It's a really good idea.
Now look at it this way, if you're a fan, I'm going to sell you for a little bit. I don't know how much the book is, I'm sure it's $19, $20, whatever. You buy, each photo you buy there at the convention is $10. Okay, and maybe I'll sign, maybe I won't, depends on the line.
Yeah.
But if you buy the book, I'm telling both of these cameras now, and this camera over here, all three cameras, if you buy the book, I will sign it, regardless of how long it takes to wait in line to get it signed. Because in the book now, there literally are hundreds of photographs. Some of which you've seen before, but many, many, many which you've never seen before. So for 20 stinking bucks, man, what could possibly go wrong?
What a bargain.
You know, even if it sucks, you got lots of photographs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if you can't read, then you got the
And if you
pictures.
can't read, then just look through the pictures. Absolutely. You get
Perfect.
to watch me age. You start at the beginning and go to the end.
Perfect. Let's see. So, what can you tell us about the book? What got you started on it?
I have a bunch of sort of rants and stories on my website. Not many, but then a book agent, a literary agent, contacted me and said, "Hey, why don't you write a book?" I'm like, "Yeah, okay, whatever." He said, "No, really, you should write a book." And I thought, okay, well, what do we have to do? He said, let's come up with like an outline, like a Cliff Notes version of the book, like it's already written.
Yeah.
And we shot that around to publishers, and apparently it interested them enough to get one or two on the hook. And then one of them finally said, "Well, what about a chapter? Can you just do a full chapter so we can see what it's like, to see if it can sustain itself?" So I did that, and finally made a deal with St. Martin's Press. That's how it came about, and that was about 4 years ago. So this is like giving birth, this stupid book. I can't wait. I can't wait to get it out there finally, because now it's just done. Because every time I've had any spare time, it's always been working on the book. And I've been working a fair amount, so there hasn't been much time to really do anything.
That's neat. What are you? What's gonna be involved in the book?
You tell me what you want to hear, and I'll tell you what if it's true or not.
Oh.
What would you like to hear about as a pseudo fan?
As a pseudo fan, I guess.
And I'll tell you whether it's in there.
Let's see. I'd actually like to know if you put any stuff about the Maniac Cop series personally.
The Maniac Cop series? Sure, it's in there. There's mention of it. I mentioned just about everything I've worked on in one form or another.
So it's
With
just
a
you
little
know
bit
what
of
you.
commentary on it. It's all kinds of stuff. It's a little bit, obviously it's all the historical stuff.
Yeah.
You know, my ridiculous childhood, which led to becoming an actor, and then the process of becoming an actor. That's more what it is. It's from, you know, the suburbs of Detroit to being in movies. And then just following the sort of the flow of it all. It's a little bit of a fly on the wall, because I've been around Hollywood and in it, and haven't really been in the A leagues, just sort of the B leagues, but it's enough to sort of look at how the industry works. So there's a lot of behind the scenes stories. It's a very anecdotal, but you know, I don't know. Hopefully, there's a little something for everybody.
Well, it sounds like a book that.
There's even a chapter about fans in there.
Well, you've got a documentary about.
That's
it
right,
too,
fan
so.
analysis, and I don't know if the documentary is going to be included in the book or not. I'm trying to see if I can get a DVD included in the book.
Yeah, that'd be.
So
awesome.
then it would be an even better deal. Buy the DVD, buy the book, get a DVD, but I don't know yet. I can't say that. I don't want your legion of fans saying, "You lied to me. I want my money back."
Yeah, that would suck. Let's see. You also have a cameo in Spiderman.
Yep,
From what I've heard, you actually are the person to give Spider-Man his
I
name.
give him his name. I say because I'm the ring announcer in this big WWF kind of event where Spider-Man has his first little fight. And I asked him, you know, what's your name, kid? And he says, the human spider. It's like, nah, you gotta do better than that. So then I announced him, you know, the amazing Spiderman. So that was fun. It was fun to work with Sam again and just fool around on a big budget movie for a couple days.
Cool. So since you have a cameo, does that mean we're going to see the classic in Spider-Man 2?
The cars were on the lot. I have a whole section of Sam's classic in my book. It's called "You Will Never Kill My Classic," and it's the history of Sam's car. And I've got all kinds of great photos of it, intimate photos of how that car came to be. So I don't know. I think it might be because Sam puts it in every one of his movies, like literally every one of his movies.
That's too cool.
Yeah.
Let's see. I guess.
And then there's this movie, The Majestic, that I just finished. It used to be called The Bijou.
Yeah.
Now it's called The Majestic.
Yeah, you play a swashbuckler.
Yeah, I'm in a movie within the movie. Jim Carrey plays a blacklisted writer, and that's one of the movies that he wrote. So I'm the actor in that movie. So I have no scenes with Mr. Carrey.
Yeah, but you get to be a swashbuckler in the 50s adventure film.
Yeah.
That must be cool.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. It was all black and white, so it should look pretty neat.
Sweet. You haven't done black and white since Running Time.
No, correct. Yeah, they don't do much black and white now. It's too old-fashioned for you punk kids. It's not colorful enough.
I hear that.
Not handheld enough.
Oh yeah, it's got to jump around.
There are no jump cuts, so I hope you guys will be okay when you watch it. Hope you'll be able to follow it.
Yeah. We'll do our best. I hear that everybody's favorite Golden Idol has a cameo in the Majestic. Did you get to play around with that?
What does that mean?
The Raiders of the Lost Ark Idol.
Oh, I haven't seen it, no.
You didn't see it on set?
No.
And Moriarty, who I guess you talked to Drew when you were shooting that in LA. He came up to you and apparently Darabout got to be able to give him the Golden Idol from Raiders of the Lost Ark to throw in the background in one of the scenes.
Maybe he gets hit. I think Cliff Curtis, who plays the evil Khalid, hits. I think he hits the professor on the back of the head with it. I didn't recognize it as being from that.
Yeah, that's the one.
Wow.
Cool. Well,
There you go. That's a little tribute for you.
Yeah, exactly. Cool.
For you internet freaks.
And yeah, that's basically the audience you're playing to. So, let's see. But they are no rubber pants though.
The what?
They're no rubber pants. The Idol.
That's right. There are no rubber pants. No.
You're like, no, I know.
It's a very obscure reference now. These people will have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, they will in the next question. That was, of course, a reference to Raiders of the Lost Park, which was shown with Raiders of the Lost Park fairly recently.
It was? It was shown with a real movie?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Before the movie, yeah.
That's like a short before the movie? That's
Yeah.
hysterical.
Yeah, it's out at the Alamo, so.
Good Lord. What did you do, show it on video or something?
They had a video, yeah. Tim, of course, it was awful condition, awful bootleg quality.
Oh, yeah.
But it was still fun to watch, nonetheless, and you got a huge applause, by the way.
You guys should let us know, because I can always get better copies of that stuff. Of course, you'll steal it and bootleg it again. So, maybe not.
Awesome. So you guys did a whole bunch of Super 8 stuff, seemed like a lot of fun. It must have been a blast doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah, doing all those cheesy Super 8 movies. I mean, now you say Super 8, people go, oh, little video? Video? No, Super 8 movies. Super 8 millimeter. Yeah, we didn't really date. I never had girlfriends or anything like that. That's what we did. That was our activity. And then we were just sort of dodging reality, I think. And by the end of high school, we realized that we better do something for a living. So that's how that led into making the first film.
Exactly. You used Within the Woods to raise money for the first Evil Dead movie.
Right.
What was it?
There's
Was it?
awful bootlegs of that floating around where you can't even see what's going on. It's like, just out of courtesy, I want to put out a better bootleg version just so people can watch it.
Well, yeah, I haven't seen it myself, but I hear you play the monster.
Yeah, I play the hapless boyfriend who becomes the bad guy. Where there was a woman being terrorized, much like the Jamie Lee Curtis type in Halloween. But when we went to do the first Evil Dead film, Sam thought, well, let's put a guy in that situation. Let's reduce a guy to a screaming coward. And then, because he thought you could make it much more horrible, if that's the case. So, not for me to judge.
Was it tough raising the money, or was it like?
Yeah, it was real hard. It was awful. It took 4 years to make the movie because we kept running out of money. So raising money is the hardest part about making the movie. Is no big deal, not compared to raising the money, because you've got to put these legal documents together and meet with lawyers and CPAs and sit at meeting after meeting in rooms like this with board executives where you're trying to pitch them about how much money they're going to make. And you can't even guarantee that they're going to make money. There's a little bit about that in the book. There's the whole fundraising stuff. I guess you'll just have to read the book for that answer.
Awesome. Yeah. Let's see, the location for Evil Dead, the main cabin and the woods were really, I mean, they come across really scary on screen. Were you creeped out at all during any of the shooting of the movie?
There's a creepy story behind the cabin. That originally in the 30s, there was a woman named, I think it's Clara, who was a little girl. And in the course of one night, both of her parents are killed. And it was during a horrible storm, and she wandered off and was found. She was not killed for whatever reason, and was found wandering. And supposedly during thunderstorms, bad storms, she will just wander now to this day. So in 1979, there had been a bad storm near the time where we were shooting, and Clara was found wandering back in the woods behind the cabin. It's now a very old lady. So the cabin itself had a pretty creepy history. And by the time we found it, the cows had taken it over. There was no electricity, there was no running water. We had to get the cow manure off the floors and put power to it and sort of redo it. And then it burned down. Some people squatted in the home. This was rural Tennessee, so we were in the land of squatters and sort of white trash. And the cabin eventually burned down about 2 years later. But then some kids found it. Some internet geeks found it. They did. I was at a film festival in Champaign-Urbana, Illinois, and some kid plunked a stone in front of me. I'm like, "What's this?" He goes, "What do you think?" I went, "I don't know. Come on, give me a hint." He goes, and it was Sam Raimi wanted the fireplace of the cabin to look like teeth. So my brother Don, who was helping on the movie, just went, "Oh, okay." Just sort of plastered in these craggy stones, and the guy they had found, because the fireplace survived the fireplace. So he brought one in, so the secret is out. And then another kid sent me a long email about how he tried to find a time capsule that we buried. We buried a time capsule that had a little note, and according to Sam, a visual code to the movie. It would decipher the whole movie if you found this code. It was a visual code. And then there were some other artifacts. We put it in a cigar box and buried it. But because it was under the house, where the trap door was and where the supposed basement was, which was only 4 feet of steps going down, that's where we buried it. So it got dark and the kid had to go before he found it. It's like, they're going to have strange rituals down at that cabin. I know it now. Weekend rituals of drinking binges and sacrificing children. I'm terrified.
Wow. Yeah, I remember you mentioned that on the DVD about the time capsule. I was wondering if any fan had run out and tried to find it yet. So.
Yeah, they did. Several people made it. They've been sort of sneaking into Morristown, Tennessee, and sniffing around. Someone's going to get shot too. Looking in. Yeah, it's not the area where you go looking through people's backyards. And we said we had guys up on the hills watching us at night.
Really?
Yeah. I went down to the cabin one morning. I was taking groceries down, and we posted a lookout because some power tools were stolen, which is classic because it was right next to a $20,000 Airflex camera, and they took the skill saw because that's all they needed in rural Tennessee.
Yeah.
Shit, I don't need a camera. I need that saw. So we posted a lookout at the house. After shooting each night, one of us would sleep out. So if it was my turn, I'd just put a hat over my bloody hair and then just put a coat over my bloody shirt and just shiver by the fire all night. It was very glamorous, though. But I saw a guy coming up the road who had shotgun shells across both his chest and a huge shotgun and a big beard. It's like, what do you do? What do you say to that guy? So I just said, good morning. He went, morning. I guess he'd been hunting back up in there. I figured he had killed Sam. Sam was Sam's night that previous night. I thought he'd come in and just find blood all over the walls. But unfortunately, he was fine. I mean, fortunately.
Well, Stephen King gave you a really awesome quote just on the poster.
Yes, the most first original horror film of the year.
That's cool.
It helped a lot because it gave us legitimacy. Because it was just another horror film at that point. But he saw it at the Cannes Film Festival in France and sort of put his seal of approval on it. And then the critics just backed away and went, yeah, we like this movie too. Yeah, it's an instant classic. And, but the film did get all kinds of reviews. It got good reviews and some really bad ones.
Well, I mean, with a movie like this, you're going to divide, not only the critics, but the audience as well. So.
Yeah, I think so too. It's fair to say. It's not for everybody. It's not a chick flick.
No.
Although, from what I understand, a lot of guys test their girlfriend with those movies. That if their girlfriends like it, then they'll go out with them.
Yes, I've heard of such things. Let's see. After the first Evil Dead film, you went on to do Crime Wave, which was a really cool movie that was just overlooked by a lot of people.
Oh, I don't know if it was overlooked. I think it was. I liken it to the movie Brazil, where the movie's good in 10-minute pieces. Like if I watched the movie Brazil in 10-minute chunks, I'd really like it.
Yeah.
But watched as a whole, it just gets annoying. I think it's kind of an annoying movie because it tried to be everything. we were very concerned that the movie that Evil Dead was too gross for a lot of people, and people fainted and barfed and all that sort of stuff. And we wanted to make something that was a little more accessible. So we tried to make a romantic comedy action with dance sequences, and it just, wow. It just didn't cut it.
Well, you had the Coens actually wrote that, didn't they?
Yeah, they co-wrote it with Sam.
And you worked with them later on the Hudsucker Proxy.
Well, Joel Coen worked on the first Evil Dead.
Oh yeah, he was the
Joel Coen was the assistant editor of the first Evil Dead.
That's awesome.
So yeah, we go back a ways with those guys, and then I finally worked with them officially on the Hudsucker Proxy.
Definitely. You seem totally at ease being, a 50s, fast-talking reporter. Was that an easy role to just fall into?
No, it was fun. That was actually a lot of fun, but it was intimidating being with Jennifer Jason Leigh.
Yeah.
Who's like a real actress. And she had so many lines in that movie, and I was there for the first 2 weeks of rehearsal. Because during rehearsal for Hudsucker, I got to sort of read the other parts of the people who weren't there for rehearsal. So it was great. I could really sit and watch, and she knew every one of her lines from first day of rehearsal. Every single one. And I knew that she would never screw up ever. And so it got me really nervous. Normally actors blow lines all the time. But I'm like, oh crap, I'm boned. So I just had to really concentrate.
Oh, cool.
So it was good though.
And you got to smack her on the ass, if I remember correctly.
Yes, I did smack her on the ass.
Well, how was that?
How was that? How would you like it to be? What do you think it'd be like to smack Jennifer Jason Leigh on the ass?
I could imagine it'd be pretty good, but I don't know.
What do you think? Do you think she has a doughy butt, kind of a hard body butt? What do you think?
I don't know.
Body by Jake butt?
I could see a little give.
Sort of a donut, a little give? She had a very tight dress on, so frankly it was hard to judge.
Okay.
How's that?
That's
I
good
felt
enough.
mainly wool.
Alright, let's see. Was the sequel to Evil Dead something you guys were really jumping to do, or was it something...
No, it was out of necessity, because the crime wave bombed 1,000 deaths, and so we went, oh crap, we gotta do something that makes money.
Yeah.
And Evil Dead 1 had done really well, and so we thought, maybe Ash didn't die. Maybe that evil force didn't really get him. So we just continued on from there. It just sort of happened. We never really gave it all that much thought, I don't think.
Well, the movie seems to be a series of beatings on you.
Yeah, it's a drinking game, too.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Did you have any injuries or close calls?
No, I've never really been, officially injured on a movie, to the point where I had to stop shooting. I got a cut on my face for Army of Darkness. Just flipping a stuntman down the stairs and, I went to the emergency room, and I already had 8 other cuts on my face, and the doctor's like, "Whoa, which one is it?" I go, "I don't know, feel around, somewhere over here." So we just stitched me up. I went back to work, and it didn't hurt continuity at all.
Okay.
You know, because it was just another cut.
I guess it just goes to show how good a job.
No, but I still have my Majestic, my little scabs from the Majestic, throwing myself back onto a pit. I had to I had to do the beginnings of a flip, like in Xena.
Yeah.
So I still give for my art. I still suffer for the audience.
That's awesome, and we appreciate it.
Mm.
Let's see, how did Army of Darkness come about?
Army of Darkness kind of had to wait until Sam was done with Darkman. So that was written earlier, but shot later. Originally, part 2 was going to be Army of Darkness. Ash was going to get caught in the evil entity and taken immediately back to 1300. But that didn't work out. So eventually, again, it was the strength of Evil Dead 2 that made money. That made money even before we started shooting. They did some pre-sales for it, and it was already at a profit when we were in pre-production.
It's awesome.
So we went, oh, cool. And so Army of Darkness wasn't that hard to put together. But that was a long, grueling experience. That was a tough shoot. There's quite a bit about Army of Darkness in the book that's coming out.
Coming out in June.
Yes.
Captain Supermarket?
That's what Army of Darkness was called in Japan. It has Campbell's soup labels, too. It's like, what are these people thinking of, man? I want the drugs that the Japanese are taking. Because, man, oh man, they're really colorful. Their concepts are really kind of interesting. And the photo quality is always better than ours. I mean, they have access to better materials or they have better equipment or something, but every time they've done a poster from some of our other movies, we always go, oh wow, that's cool.
Exactly.
It's the Italian ones that suck.
Is that the one that made you look like Schwarzenegger?
No, that was Dino. That was Dino De Laurentiis. That was the foreign poster used. And that's Dino's thing. He worked with Schwarzenegger. I want him to look like Schwarzenegger. It's like, okay, go for it. Knock yourself out.
Let's see. Army of Darkness had money behind it, but where the previous films had more creative control
Yeah, that's the horrible trade-off.
Trade-off,
The less you have, the more control you have. So I say, make movies for like 300,000, 500,000 and under.
yeah.
That's what I recommend. Because it's all about control. The only movie we've ever had creative control has been Evil Dead, and that was 21 years ago or whatever. So I think filmmakers get lured into the high-budget world, and then they get hit on the head with a big stick. Because they realize that you get a better salary, but they can re-edit the movie, they can retitle it, they can fire people. You really lose a lot when you work for studios.
Yeah. Well, the series is extremely popular, as you well know.
Sure.
And I know that you're invited to screenings of the film all the time. So what are your favorite scenes to watch with the crowd?
Of which movie?
Let's go for 1, 2, 3.
In the first Evil Dead, the crowd generally wakes up right around the time when the girl gets the pencil in the Achilles tendon. This is Rob Tappert's idea. And so that's the first scene where people go, oh wow, this is a freaky ass movie. And then it just sort of stays like that for the rest. I also like the sequence in Evil Dead where Ash is alone in the cabin, where things are freaking out. I think that's Sam really hits his sort of. We thought he was crazy doing Dutch angles, 45-degree Dutches for each shot. We thought this is really going to be a problem, but it worked out good. It's probably the least dated section of the movie, ironically. And then Evil Dead 2, there's lots of fun stuff. Again, I like Ash alone in the cabin. I like that stuff best because then it's just a weirdo horror movie. And then Army of Darkness is fun. I mean, that's a little more of a fluff movie. But there are some sequences in there that are a lot of fun. Yelling at primitive screwheads and stuff. I think it works out all right.
Well, one of the